Okay, welcome back. Season 15. Welcome to the new joiners as well. Sega's lap guide for this week. So here we are aboard the Supra. Gr3 race. Hop on board. So just for the new joiners as well. So these lap guides I generally do equal conditions, just so there's no wind causing any issues here. So Supra found brake bias, one to the rear. May help with the tyre wear a little bit, but gives it that little extra rotation. And yeah, away we go. So set layout will be, I'll talk through the guide, do a lap, and then I'll reverse rewind and then show you a lap without me talking. So let's get on with it. So Supra, you now shift at the 95%, obviously the red bar. So looking at first brake marker here is 100 meters, getting the car all the way out to the right and using that whole width of the track to open up the corner. So turning in at the end of the blue strip there. So I'm using, like a lot of FR cars, using the gears to rotate. So I'm going down the first, cracking it the second at the apex there to help with the rotation out, and driving it out. Just going 80-90% until you know you're going to get full traction. Getting it tucked over to the right here. You'll find here with just this left kink here, it's just you drop in the throttle 80-90%, just to help with that rotation. If you keep your foot planted here, you'll understeer out in the wall. Not good. So you see it there. Coming out, cracking up the fifth, using basically the red marker there on the fence, or you're looking at at the start of the curb there. Again, these are soft tyres, different tyre compounds. Just draw everything back, 5 meters or so. Cracking down the first to get rotation, and then straight back up in the second to get that turn. Bringing on the throttle, careful traction here, especially with cold other tyres compounds. Getting it tucked over. As soon as you're basically over on the left here, you're lightly on the brakes, and I'm not using that just inside the rubbered in line, as you'd like to say. Down the first to get that nose start to get tucked in. It's going to be very much of a trademark of the Supra. And then cracking up the second, get that rotation. Then in the third again, just to help with the little bit of a traction here. Over this rise, you can get a little bit of a bit floaty, and the car can push if you try and get on power too early out there onto the left. Important, long straight, relative for this circuit. Don't want to be losing any time, so it's more important slow in, fast out. Using all the track. Coming in here, so this is probably a good fuel save spot to throughout the race for the long one, maybe just a little lift early. So what you want to do is you want to get that car onto the blue curb and braking, let's just say just before. So I'm just off throttle, about to bring on the brakes now, hard. So I'm jamming the car down, using down the first, then up in the second, just watching here, not really being too aggressive on the throttle. You'll find that just up to 50, 70, bring it on, and then once you know you're not going to run wide here, plan it. The car can get a bit unstable there, so patience is the key. Don't worry about who's around you, and driving up the hill. So I'm looking at this just before the tyre barriers start there on the right, kind of that line in the wall is a good guide, but roughly halfway on this ripple strip is probably another spot too. Again, not too hard on the brakes, up to like 50, and then trail braking down. Don't want to be too aggressive, don't want to get on this curb, don't want to use the grass here, it'll bounce the car. These curbs they don't look as too harsh, but they are, so just be careful. Bringing on another spot for traction issues with the Supra, so just 70, 80, 90% bring on your throttle, and as long as you're not understeering wide here out on the grass. Now coming up to probably there's a few tricky corners on this one, but just after the curb here, following that rubbered in line, and all it takes here is again that if you have to down to 50% throttle, but just to get the nose pointed in. And you can just bring on the throttle. Probably a little bit early on entry there, which pushed me a little bit wide here. But using the grass And then the trickiest corner I reckon on the track, I'm using this brown wall here on the right side as kind of getting on the brakes, probably a little bit too much on the brakes there. But initial application, then draw right back. The more you hang onto the brakes here, because you're putting that load on the front of the car, especially the front right, you will understeer and cause your main run onto the main straight and probably the main overtaking opportunity, especially being the Supra. We want to maximise this corner if we can. Tucked up. So to get the car bounced around there, you don't really want to use the curb, but I found that if you do have to use the curb a little, just, bringing on the 89% throttle kind of helps the car go over the curb. Using the track limits here, probably go a little bit wider, but again, don't want to push the boundaries. And then going for the finish line. If you're doing a poly lap, hold left as far as you want. But yeah, there we have it. So I'll reverse now and show you a lap without me talking. Any questions, put in the Discord. Happy to answer any guides. Again, this is early in the Supra for all of us. We will pick up little bits and pieces as we go along, as long as we help each other out. So yeah, here you go. Lap without me talking.